One of the people that understands exactly what's happening in Gaza better than anybody else is Brigadier General Amir Avivi. He's the chairman of the IDSF, which is the Israel Defense and Security Forum. In Hebrew, we call them the Beautification, a group of over 35,000 reserve soldiers and officers. And during his service, he held very important senior roles in the IDF. Now he's leading this movement to try to make our IDF not just militarily strong, but also strong in a sense of identity, and a sense of purpose, and a sense of vision of where this country is going. Brigadier General Amir Avivi, thank you so much for joining us.
It's my pleasure. Always happy to talk with you.
I was having breakfast this morning with some tourists, some pro-Israel folks from Dallas, and I was talking with them. I said to them, if there could be one thing fixed in Israel, it would fix everything else. They said to me, what is that thing? I said to them, the one thing that could fix everything was if Israel wanted to be big. If Israel felt inside that it wanted to be big. For example, when we have a big business, instead of selling it off and having an exit, that we wanted to be big and buy another business. If Gaza came into our hands back, good. We want to hold on to their land because we want to be big. We want to be sovereign. We want to govern. The Druze are asking us to have a confederation with them and defend them. Great, because we want to be big. But the problem is a lot of times there's a feeling that Israel wants to be small. It has what I call a certain kind of ghetto mentality. It kind of returns to a small place. It doesn't want to be big. It doesn't want to govern. It doesn't want to rule. You know, average Israelis will tell you, we don't want to rule other people. We don't want to rule other people. So I'm asking you, here's the opportunity. Comes the Druze. They say, protect us and give us some arms, train us, and have a confederation. Give us our autonomy. And we balk. We balk at that. So I want to ask you about that. Do you agree with that? Do you agree with my assessment? And is there a fixing of it? And is this a symptom of it?
I think that when you are connected to your Jewish values and to Zionism, you know you are part of something big. Of course you want to be big. You need to be connected to our core values. When you understand what being the people of Israel is all about, and what is the land of Israel, you feel big and you want to be big. I think that people that want to be small are people that have distanced themselves from our core values. I can tell you that at the beginning of the state of Israel, or even before 1948, when we were really, really small, people were thinking really, really big. Why? They were deeply, deeply connected to their values. It's all about that. It's all about really the connection. And then with that comes this kind of thinking, Isha, you are talking about.
So, but when it comes to Gaza right now, first thing, we were surprised to hear that after 2 years of fighting, now Israel wants to go into central Gaza, into Gaza City. For the average person listening, it was like, what? You haven't attacked Gaza City previously? So help me understand, as like an average person out there hearing that for the first time, being like, Gaza is about 400 square kilometers long, big. And
even less.
And you haven't gone into the main city, which is called Gaza City. You know, it's the main thing. Like, what's that about? What's that? Where's the bigness there?
So actually we did. That's the first place we went to at the beginning of the war. We attacked Gaza City with 2 divisions. But we have to remember, we started the war dealing with 7 different fronts, with a reality that we were lacking munitions, not enough forces. We had to keep the forces fresh to fight the war in Lebanon. You know, at a certain stage, we moved all the center of gravity from Gaza to Lebanon, and we had to shift the whole army. We left very few forces in the Gaza Strip and shifted the whole center of gravity to the north. So actually, we are now the first time really, really focused on Gaza. We went to the north, then we went to Syria, then we had to deal with Iran. And at this stage, we are controlling 75% of the Gaza Strip. We have conquered it completely and also cleaned out 75%. And now there are 2 remaining strongholds. One is the city of Gaza, and the other one is the Deir el-Balach, the central camps. The last two strongholds, the main one is Gaza City, and it's obvious that taking the army and going into these strongholds will bring the collapse of Hamas and will bring victory in this war. And the way to bring back the hostages is to win against Hamas, is to destroy them, bring them to total, surrender, unconditional surrender, which will enable us also to get back the hostages.
And that's coming up soon. There's this call up for the beginning of September, a massive call up. Basically, everybody's being called up. Sometimes I wonder, why do we have to announce that? I would have done it more quietly, right? But tell me about this. Is this attack coming, and is this call up, going to be that, or is this just a way to put verbal pressure or political pressure on Hamas to come to some kind of deal? But in fact, there's not going to be an attack. Is there not, or should we not even talk about these things?
So look, just before we attacked in Iran, and as we were taking over the 75% of the Gaza Strip, the assumption in the government and also in the defense establishment was that defeating Iran and conquering 75% of the Gaza Strip will set the terms for a partial hostage deal. And the Prime Minister of Israel really, really wanted this partial hostage deal at the time. He believed that if we manage to take out half of the remaining hostages, it will make it much, much easier afterwards to maneuver and go all in. The army was sharing the same ideas, but we defeated Iran, we took over 75% of Gaza, and the hostage deal didn't happen. The terms were not met, and this is for many reasons. It's because of the international campaign accusing us of starving the Gazans, which made Hamas feel, that maybe this international pressure will stop the war. It's because there was a crisis in the government. The ultra-Orthodox left the government because of the draft. And then again, Hamas thought, okay, maybe Israel is going to elections. Let's wait. Let's not release hostages. It's also because decision-making in Hamas is not in Gaza now. It's in Qatar. It's these guys who are sitting in five-star hotels. They're not feeling the pressure of war. They don't care about what's going on in Gaza. And they don't want to release the hostages. So we found ourselves in a situation that the expectations were not met, and there is no half a deal or partial deal. And then when the cabinet, the prime minister had to decide what to do, he understood that at this stage, the only option that is relevant is a full takeover of the remaining strongholds of the Gaza Strip, defeating Hamas, and by doing that, releasing the hostages. I think the Prime Minister understands that he has two big problems. He doesn't have much international support left. Even President Trump wants to see a decisive win fast. Why? He wants to move to peace agreements, to normalization. He wants this war to end with a decisive win, but he wants to finish the war fast. And the world is pressuring us, talking about the situation in Gaza, and also telling the army now to retreat from all the places we took over and start all over again after the army has been fighting almost for 2 years. It's also a problem. So now we're in a different reality. If you ask me why now that Hamas maybe is agreeing to a partial deal, Israel is not, it's because the situation is not the same, it's different. And now we have only one viable path. We have to go in and destroy them, finish the job. And I think this is why we're going to see this, tens of thousands of reservists that are going to be called. They're going to replace many regular units that are going to be sent to Gaza. The army is making a lot of preparations, also logistical preparation, such as preparing the humanitarian zone for getting around 1 million Gazans that need to be moved from Gaza City south to the central camps in El Mawasi. And of course, all the preparations that the army is doing, briefing the soldiers, the commanders, and so on before we go into the operation. And I want to believe, and I'm assuming that in the coming months, if the army really does what it needs to do, if the cabinet instructs them the right instructions, by the end of the year we can have a decisive win in Gaza. It depends on us. It's a matter of really
is that gonna fly in the face of the Trumpian request to finish this fast? What do you mean the end of the year? Do you mean the end of the Jewish year, or do you mean the secular year? What do you mean by that? You mean by January type thing?
Realistically speaking, I would say the secular year. I'm looking at both strongholds, the city of Gaza and also the central camps. Now, if we'll see a Hamas collapse faster, great. But because, we have a lot of tunnels and booby traps, and, we have to work very systematically and slowly and not to endanger the soldiers, I think it's going to take a bit of time. But, if we really finish the war by the end of the year and win decisively, release the hostages, that's...
Oh, we lost him for a second. I'm going to take him out of the studio and see if we could get him back in. Let's see if we can get Amir back online. I had a few very important questions, but basically what he's saying is there's going to be a big attack on the central fortresses, central regions of Gaza, and that's going to take Hamas down. Okay, let's see if we have Amir back in just a second. Let's see.
Isha, you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you and I see you. Very good. Okay, I wanted to ask you this. I guess the decision has been taken that the only way to win is to win. That's the only way to win, is to actually fully win. Okay, so I'm happy that we've come to that conclusion, which seemed obvious to many of us, that the only way to do it is to actually take over Gaza and control it and get rid of Hamas and not wait for their partial deals and not wait for, Netanyahu was at a press conference and he said that he's going to try to find some other Arab entity to rule Gaza, to control Gaza. And it was very deflating. It was very deflating to hear him say that he basically wants to go back to Hahitnatkut, to a disengagement idea, which is we'll take security control in the perimeter, but let some other Arab entity take over Gaza. That was very frustrating, Amir. It was very frustrating to hear that. What do you think? Is that not fair of me? Is that too utopian?
Look, I know there is a lot of noise. The relationship between the chief of staff and the prime minister, and Smotrich that is against the chief of staff and the prime minister, and there's a lot of talking, and I think we really need to put all this noise aside and focus on really what's important here. And what's important here is we have defeated Hezbollah, Syria, Iran. We took over 75% of Gaza. We have two messages, and we need to concentrate on really winning this war, being united. I don't like, all this appearance of a non-united.
Oh, lost him again. But I think he's saying some amazing things right now. So true. And sometimes we need a reset. Hey, guys, sometimes I need a reset. Very not often. But sometimes I even need a reset. And that reset is to tell you that you need to remember that we have something that we have to unify around. We have something that we need to be proud about. Let's get back to Amir here. Yeah, I was just saying that how right you are about this moment that you have to see what the big picture is, how many successes there have been. But it's just that, Amir, we want to go all the way this time. We want to go all the way. We don't want partial victory this time. We want to finish this business off and not allow for, bad ideas and bad policies to stick. We want to get this done. October 7th is an opportunity, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree. Before the war, when we in IDSF said war is coming,
say the last thing again.
The 7th of October gave us a real chance to completely change our fate. It's definitely a big opportunity, and we have to win decisively. We cannot have, again, a reality where Hamas stays or they keep hostages. They need to be eradicated completely. You cannot have a reality where an entity that massacred our people this way and took hostages will remain alive. If they survive, there will be no security in Israel. All our deterrence will break, and it will endanger the whole Western civilization. It's not just about Israel. Nobody can attack us like that and survive that.
Amen. Amir, I don't see you, but I hear you great. But I want to say, I have one last question for you. Today, a piece of news was sent my way that the U.S. House of Representatives has launched an investigation into Wikipedia Foundation for advancing, quote, anti-Semitic and anti-Israel information in Wikipedia articles. My friends and I have been very concerned about Wikipedia for a long time. And it's taken the United States to launch an investigation into Wikipedia, but in truth, it's something that Israel should also be looking into. How exactly are our enemies using sources of information from TikTok to Wikipedia to besmirch our name and to undermine our narrative? That is part of the war. You are a general that fights kinetic wars, right? You fight physical wars on the ground. But you, as a student of history and a student of war, you know that war is also fought in information and in propaganda. So I wanted to ask you about this war against us through Wikipedia and the U.S. House of Representatives finally challenging what's going out there in Wikipedia.
Yeah, I must tell you that I'm dealing even, my own Wikipedia. You see how people use it for, campaigns and try to change things. It's very problematic. I mean, this information war is it's a big challenge, a big challenge.
It's a big challenge, and we, as you said, we were hit last week, the last few weeks with the whole starvation campaign, right? It's like we're sending them food. We have an American organization trying to get them food. We have all kinds of countries flying over and sending food. It's like they have millions of tons of food. They have more tons of food there, than any place on earth, and yet somehow we are being struck with this with these campaigns. Okay, Amir Avivi, I want to thank you. I know that you're having technical issues.
Thank you very much.
You are the chairman of the IDSF, the Israel Defense and Security Forum, and you are doing amazing work at getting us fighting and the fighting spirit as well. Thank you very much, Amir Avivi.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure, Yishai. Thanks.
All right, folks, you are watching the Yishai Fleisher TV show live from Judea. Thank you very much. To Amir Avivi, you're a part of it wherever you are. And so I want to ask you to take a second and to like, subscribe, comment. You've been doing great commenting. Like, subscribe, comment, become a member, and even check out our YouTube Superstore. It's not even a store anymore. It's a Superstore, which you can find on YouTube. And also you can support us in other ways, including buy me a coffee.com/Yishai. It's a great way to support the show and to support the team that supports the show and to support God's vision, which we are trying to support. There's a ton of support that's happening here, and therefore I'm asking you to support. Moreover, if you could buy me a coffee.com/Yishai for supporting this show, you could also support our projects at fightforisrael.org, fightforisrael.org. That's a great way to fight for Israel and to support. I want to thank the team very much on the Yishai Fleisher TV team, and I want to thank all of you. We have more great stuff coming your way. We have the Lord has blessed us with a plethora of material and education, and also great colleagues that do great work out there. There's other great channels as well. I want to bless you to, as Gussie says, stay safe. I want to bless you guys to stay safe. And I want to say, LaZohar, say thank you. And I say thank you right back to you. And I want to bless you. That's the deal. Those who bless Israel get a deal, which they get blessed back. And I know that if you let yourself, you'll know that God has entered your house today because you have spent the time of your day to bless Israel. God bless you wherever you are. Thank you for being part of it. More great stuff is on the way. Stay strong, stay connected, stay part of the story, stay blessed wherever you are. May Hashem be with you, and shalom.